Hey, yeah, whistle, whistle, whistle. All right, we get it. I still haven't changed the intro. it's it's that kind of a day today. Welcome everybody. It is the 58th episode of Making It Up as We Go. I'm Ryan, and yeah, I don't. I was going to say something witty there, but it just didn't happen. So let me bring everybody in here. As usual, we got Mr. Corliss, and we got Mr. Sean, and we got Mr. DeHammerquist. How you doing, sir?
Doing well.
Oh man, what a week! I tell you. Well, let's just jump right into it, Mr. Paul. What have you been working on this week?
I made some of these.
Ooh.
That's the limit of my talent this week is making hold downs for my laser that fit in the honeycomb of my laser. And I
Very
3D
good.
cut them. And the only reason I made these, I've got some of the ones that where you cut pieces of scrap 3mm plywood and stick them down in there.
Yeah.
I've got a Creality Falcon 2 laser, and the laser sits way down almost on the workpiece, and it won't go over those, but it will clear this because it's
Okay.
So that's why I made these as hold downs instead of
Nice.
using the others.
Hey, whatever works.
Whatever works.
So, and that means that you are working yourself up for a project.
Let's not push it. Yeah, I am.
That's good. Very good. What about you, Sean? What have you been working on?
Well, I got some new designs coming up here shortly on modules. That's one thing.
I've been seeing you were doing something with the tunnels.
Oh, bridge. Oh, yes. Actually, it's over on the far side of the room. Just added tunnels to the website, Klondike.com. Little push there. Those turned out really good. Nice and simple, easy, and affordable. And you can build right off of those, or you can put them onto a module or switch them around. Doesn't matter where you put it as long as it's on a straightaway. And those are working out good.
Cool.
And then besides that, my TV went out. But you know what's cool? With today's technology, it used to be trying to find a particular board. Like you go searching for a power board or something. So this is what I ended up replacing. And it's the main power source for the TV. And dude, it's as simple as take a picture of it with your phone. Do the like I have Google phone.
Yeah.
I did the lens, and sure enough, it popped up places where that board's available. Got it in earlier today. 15 minutes later, I have
a working TV. Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, without having it for a couple of weeks, it was kind of sad. But yeah, that worked out great. Now I can get back to play my arcade games.
How much was the board for it?
$40.
That's not bad at all.
No, it's better than going out and spending what $300 for the equivalent of.
Yeah.
Not more for that TV.
Wow.
That works out great. And then my daughter and I, she wants to have an Etsy store. So we've been setting up stuff, and I've been getting her geared up, and she's going to start off doing a little keychain.
Oh, yeah.
And hard to see. But necklaces, okay. We were joking around. She's like, what's probably the best seller? And I said, well, make something like this. But hey, it's got happy faces.
I bet you it'll sell like hotcakes too.
Oh yeah, but I mean, she's doing some really cool stuff. And honestly, for 14 years old, I think it's awesome.
That's great.
She wants to literally make some really cool stuff. And
very cool.
The name will be. I'll let you know, and I'll share a link next time. See if I can get this turned around right. But it is
Yeah, there you go.
Bradchild. So
Nice.
from Bradchild on Etsy.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
we've been having a good time here.
Very nice. That's awesome. Yeah. I wish my kid would do something other than play Roblox or whatever that stupid game is. I'm like, you can't even tell me how much money you've spent on that stupid game. And I can tell you how much money I've spent on any game for mobile stuff ever. I've spent $2. That's all I've ever spent on the stupid games. That was just to get rid of ads.
No,
And,
I did just download Steam.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's what is the name of the game? Something Strike. Oh, Counter-Strike. It's like a free game, but it's fun.
Oh yeah. There's like on the VR stuff. There's a bunch of free games that you can play that are pretty wild, and it's like, man, how is that? You don't have to spend money if you don't want to. Like,
No,
but
there are games that are worth spending money on.
There definitely are. There definitely are. But you know, the prize packs for different skins. I mean, or whatever. You know, I don't know. Whatever. Just
What
get
are
off my lawn.
skins?
Huh?
What are
Outfit.
skins? Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I try to tell my kids that if they're skins, it's not a game.
no.
That's awesome.
You know what's cool about this whole thing with being able to play Steam? I have him to thanks for this. Thank you very much, Paul, for the video card. That thing is awesome.
You're
Sweet.
welcome.
Very good. Well, speaking of which, what have you been working on, Paul? You're I don't know how many. You're like going to work on a life-size holodeck here pretty soon, I'm sure.
Well, I've been working on. So, for my day job, I actually was coming up with some ideas for showing off tile. We just got some floating decks and floating shelves. So I'm trying to come up with some different holders for our tile and stuff like that. And then this is the video I'm working on right now.
Oh, that's cool.
For the dishwasher?
Yep. And we're going to be looking at ironing versus non-ironing. I don't want to give anything away, so I'm not going to zoom in yet. And then we have the normal ironing and then the concentric ironings going right now. And then last week I showed y'all my daughter's Lego car. Well,
You got a
built a printed
little deck for it. Sweet.
So just got to get that hung up. Got some other my projects up on the wall in the living room and kind of working there and working on a backlog of videos and
Sweet.
How do you find time to work?
You wake up at 3:00 in the morning.
Oh, well, that I understand now.
And then you go till about 9 or 10.
Oh,
And coffee.
lots of
it.
I wake
Lots
up
of
at
coffee.
3 a.m., but it's usually just to pee. Paul wakes up, pees, and goes, well, might as well work.
I set the coffee to go off at 3 to start making at 3 and get up. And that's another thing I haven't shown y'all, but I'll remember to grab that from the kitchen. But it's another video I'm working on as well.
How many hours sleep do you get a night?
5, 6, 7 sometimes. If it's 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I've slept in.
Wow.
See, Paul, you gotta remember, Paul is in his prime right now.
Well, that's true.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm coming out of my prime now.
Don't give up.
Good deal. Well, for me, I this week was a bit of a difficult week, but I did get some stuff worked on that. As you can see, it's printing right now, so we're getting closer and closer to Christmas season, and Christmas light season. And so something I've been thinking about for a while was solving a problem that we have for hanging lights on particular occasions. So there's people that have gutter guards, the leaf guards or whatever on their things, and we can't put our regular clips into those. They won't clip onto the gutter because they're covered. And so usually what we do is we end up cutting the clip and trying to shove it into the soffit trim underneath of there. And it works, but it's not a good solution. So I've been working on a good solution. And so I'm actually printing these guys out. Here's a black one that shows up a little bit better. But this little guy will fit into that, inch wide trim, and then it holds the big bulb facing out and down a little bit, and holds it in nice and tight. And so I can print a maximum of like 35 out at a time on the printer, on the Bamboo. So I've got some white PET G, and we are going to town and just going hog wild. And hopefully I can sell some of them. That'd be nice. But if not, I don't even care, because I'm going to use the crap out of these because they're going to work for what I need them to.
Now, how long does it take you to print off a bed of those?
35 of them. It says that it takes 7 hours.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, not horrible.
That's not bad.
Yeah, so but I set up a couple different plates with different amounts on them. So if I, if I'm going to be home for, a couple hours or whatever, I can, like the ones that are in here now, I've got like, I don't know, 12 or 15 on there, and it'll finish up here in probably a half hour or so. And then I can do a full plate of 35 overnight. And then when I get up in the morning, I can hit go again, and which won't be at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Think of how many more you can make.
Well, I have a 7-hour print going, so I'll be sleeping while it's printing, so it'll be all right. That's why I have the long print overnight. And so we'll get that going. And besides that, that's been my maker week of stuff. So the wife and my son, I dropped them off this evening. They're going to California tomorrow morning to go to Super Mario World over there at Universal and stuff like that with some friends of theirs. And so it'll be just me and Grandpa here at the house holding it down with the dogs. So I'm going to try to get as much done as around here as I can and go crazy and make a lot of shit. So fun times. Just in case you didn't know, there's only 110 days left till the start of the 2024 Gatton Christmas Challenge. So, we're going to do a show pretty soon. Probably about 30 days out, I would say. So soon, relatively soon, 60 days away, 70 days away, whatever it is. And we'll talk a lot about what is different about this year's Christmas Challenge and ways that everybody can play and have a good time. So, but until then, we'll start our countdown. So if you've got a project that you're thinking about or wanting to do, start planning it at least now. Get on it. Get it going. So good times.
Is there any update on the Clark forklift?
Oh, the forklift, nothing yet. No. I didn't get to mess with it with all the events that were happening this week. I'll just tell everybody because it doesn't really matter. My wife's grandmother passed away on Monday night or Monday morning. A week or so ago, she had fallen at some point, and nobody had heard from her. And I had to break into her house and get to her. But it turns out, at the time she had broken her hip, broken her arm, And that wasn't the thing that did her in, though. She ended up having a tumor the size of a baseball in her head. And so she wasn't coming out of it. So we were able to get her back home. We got her back home last Sunday or Saturday night. Yeah, last Saturday night they got her back home for hospice care, and she lasted until Monday morning at 3:00. So we buried her yesterday, we buried her on Thursday, and all that good stuff. So I hadn't been able to work on the forklift this week, but we're trying to figure out some parts for that thing, and we'll go from there. But anyway, yeah, fun times. All right, let's see here. Let's just jump in. Wade says that my Etsy page looks good. Well, thank you, Wade. That's very nice of you. Yeah, Harry says that 14. I can't even get my son to mow the lawn. Yeah, I'm right there with you. When you can get my son to do some mowing, I have to go back and mow after him because he just mows random designs in the yard and doesn't mow the whole thing. It's like, I wouldn't care if you just mowed the whole thing, but when you mow like 20 feet here and 50 feet over here, I got to do the whole damn thing over again.
I think that's a boy thing. They want to play and do other things, and
yeah. I just want to treat. I'll tell you how to mow it. All you gotta do is just follow directions. Nope, can't follow directions. Oh, anyway.
At least he's not doing crop circles.
Yeah. I've done that before, but I finished the crop circle. I did the circle and just expanded all the way out through the whole yard. Looked pretty cool. Credit card got hacked by someone this week for $23,000. What?
On Roblox.
Wow, that's insanity.
That's got to be some kind crazy of scam that they're get the cash taken out of Roblox some way.
Well, there was a sale sometime this week, where you got some astronomical amount of credits for $100 or something like that. It was a ridiculous amount, and my son spent some of his birthday money on that. And but whatever. There's probably that's probably what this person did. Just did it for $23,000. Oh my God! Wow. Oh, geez. Let's see here, John. What would be a good solar charger for a car trailer winch? So it's just a 12-volt battery that you're trying to charge up. They probably have them at something like that would work well for that. Just at the Harbor Freight or something probably would sell a cheap one.
Oh yeah, they've got the new ones that are the size of a sheet of paper.
Yeah, well, you don't even need that much really for how much a trailer winch gets used and all that stuff. You probably even use one that's like a 3 by 3 inch one that they use for the electric fences and stuff like that would probably work even. So yeah. He mows designs in the lawn. You sure it's not aliens? Yes. Yeah. No, it's definitely not aliens, but I wish it were. Because you got to sit out there and you got to watch them. 12-year-old kid, you can't just let him go hog wild on the mower. You got to be out there and make sure he doesn't run over the trees or something, or run over himself. So, but crazy. Fun times. All right, well, let's get this thing moving here tonight. We'll start here tonight with Alpine Trail Studio. Ooh, it's a fun video, good video. He's got some tips and tricks in there on different things of how he made different signs. The thing I liked the most, I thought was the most ingenious part of this one was The sign that he did with the water there, because it's a layered sign for the depths and all that, and it gets real deep in the ocean part of it or whatever, the body of water. And instead of having just a giant thick pack of layers, he just had that corner. And I thought I was like, man, that's pretty smart.
That was kind of neat how he did that.
Yeah, I like that. I thought that was a good idea. You're not using up all kinds of wood and stuff to just make that little back area. So, thought that was pretty cool. I forget what kind of laser he was using, but
was it the X tool?
Yeah, some X tool. Most of the projects you see out there are X tool.
That was Glowforge.
Oh, it was?
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was a Glowforge. Yeah, it is. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, it's definitely a Glowforge. So, you see so many X tool ones out there. You don't hear much about Glowforge anymore.
Oh, helps. My notes are out of order.
Don't feel bad.
That's all right. It very well could have been an X tool because they're in every laser cutting video that you see out there. But yeah, it's good video. Got some good tips on stuff, just from cutting a normal sign to using epoxy and stuff like that. So check that one out. Oh yeah, by the way, if you happen to be new with us, links are all in the description to all the different videos that we're talking about tonight. And you can and it'll show them. Well, they'll only show up if you hit the thumbs up button. Yeah. Yep. So hit the thumbs up button, then scroll down, and then they'll be there.
And then on the way back up, hit subscribe.
Yeah.
You have to do it in that order for it to all work.
Yeah. It all works that way.
Up, down, left, right, A, B.
We have a winner.
Yep. So, but good video overall, and I enjoyed that one. That was good. Moving on, then we got Andy Bird Builds. I had a really good tip in this thing. Like, it's something that you don't really think about a lot, but when you're cutting pockets into your projects with CNC, sometimes you leave layer lines, and there's a lot of reasons to have layer lines, and you really should probably fix that. You're probably out of tram or something. But if you go all the way down and do a final pass, he shows it in Vectric, like how to do it in the Vectric software. But I think you could do it in any software if you just set it up properly. Mm-hmm. But it's like, man.
Yeah, you could do it in your design. Just add a outside box and set it there and cut that, and then cut the inner one pass. Yep.
And just that little itty bitty bit that'll just clean up the whole thing and keep on rocking. So, but hey, when you're selling stuff and all that, having your hands on it, it's a lot easier just to have the machine do it if you can. And if you don't have to sit there and manually hand sand something, it definitely makes it a lot faster. So,
is that cool. Background new for him? Because I like it.
It is pretty good.
It reminds me of the World War II battleships. They used weird designs just like that, same coloring.
Oh yeah, interesting. I don't know. I can't say I've seen that design on much of his other videos, but he probably has had it back there for a little bit.
That's cool.
Usually when they change something like that, people say something about it. Like, hey, look, I paint. They make a video out of it because you can't do anything in your shop without making a video out of it.
Yeah. I swept.
Yeah.
Maybe that should be my first video.
Yeah, there you go. Sweeping Sean doesn't make any projects. He just sweeps his shop. So I made this sign, and so what we're going to do today is sweep the shop. There's nothing that does anything. You just show the final thing, and then you just sweep the shop. I would watch that because that would be so funny. Because it would get to a point where you're like, all right, well, show us how you made something, and then the next one is just going right back to here. I made this, and now let's go sweep the shop. That'd be great. I'd be watching those and Superhuman like back to back. So,
good idea.
Yeah, there you go. You should do it just for the fun of it. Yeah.
Now, especially.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, moving on then, we got 3D printing nerd. Was testing out a 3D printed football. I thought this was interesting because it was made. Form Labs made them for him with their SLS printing. And John Ryan of the Seahawks, he was a punter for the Seahawks for a long time, kicked it and broke them, busted up a couple balls. But he was even talking about what you could, with the right setting or with the right material, you could really make that into something. Especially for like the new flag football league that's going to be coming out and stuff like that. It wouldn't matter if it's wet or anything. Like the grip would be there for throwing it and stuff. And in the flag football, there's not going to be any punting or anything. So it would you wouldn't have to worry about how hard he kicks the thing.
Oh yeah, when he kicked it and all the powder came out.
Powder's coming out. The thing I learned the most, because I like to during the week, I watch Pat McAfee. Not necessarily for the sports, but just for the entertainment value of a group of guys hanging around talking and BSing. But he also wears tank tops all the time. And I was like, wow, so like every punter just wears tank tops. I guess that's what I've learned today. Punters like tank tops. So pretty funny. But yeah, it pretty interesting to see a ball like that getting smashed. I think it'd be pretty fun to make one that actually works that wouldn't cost like $1 bazillion. So, and he's not even taking a full hack at it either. You can tell he's not going ham on it either. He's giving it a good punt, but he's not hurting it. And pretty awesome. Anyway, it was fun. SLS printing. Good deal. The next one here. Strasis and Bamboo. So Figure Feedback was going over some of there's evidently a lawsuit that's been filed against Bamboo from Stratus, whatever they're called. I don't know why people just can't name their stuff normal, like R. Ballard Designs or something like that. So they filed a lawsuit. Evidently, I have a response from Bamboo Labs around here somewhere. I think I have that on my iPad here. But basically, there's like five different things that they were getting sued on.
Yes,
and basically it was the 3D printer itself, like everything.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What were you saying were the different things?
Purge tower, heated build platform, extrusion-based layer deposition system patent, and force detection patent. I don't have the fifth one.
Yeah, they were all like, this is. It was 3D printing.
Yeah, heated bed.
Well, doesn't it seem like that Bamboo would have gotten patents on their stuff when they developed it? And
Not really, I don't think, because I don't really think anything that they've done is really groundbreaking.
A lot of it's open source.
Yeah, I mean,
Most
they
of it.
derived a lot of it from the open source community. So I mean, I really I don't know. I don't know how any of these things would be enforceable. So, but Stratus or Stratus, whatever they are, has I get from what the guy at Figure Feedback was saying, essentially came up with 3D printing back in the day, and I guess they filed a whole bunch of patents at that point. But why are they now coming after somebody instead of like over the last 10 years? All this other crap, and
because their stock has crashed.
well, yeah.
And so Bamboo, like he said, the Stratus or whatever, we're going to call them Strats. Their machines, he goes in and shows that they're starting at, I think, 13K.
Oh yeah, they're crazy expensive.
But they have, their output is, last gen printers, and you're spending 13K.
Yeah.
Where people are now going to Bamboo and replacing them and just using those for a couple $1,000 and setting up those, bamboo farms.
13K would buy you a nice print farm with bamboo.
Hell yeah. I could buy you 13 bamboos.
Yeah.
Man, anybody want to buy me 13 more? I could print out a whole bunch of clips. But we could start doing some damage.
But that first one, the Purge Tower patent that they have a patent on the Purge. That's like Apple when they put the patent on rounded corners on a cell phone.
It's ludicrous.
How it's a rectangle.
It's
a rectangle. You are patenting a rectangle. I am sorry. You cannot patent shapes. Your basic shapes. Okay, I get it. There's logos and you can, but if it's a square, circle, rectangle, no. I don't care if you put a 5 millimeter corner on them. Yeah. You can't patent that. Sorry. Rant over.
No, this should be a rant because this is bad news. I mean, if they get through to Bamboo, they're not going to stop. They're going to go right to Creality next, and then right to Soval and right to all these other ones that are out there. So here's a brief statement. Bamboo Lab put up a statement on Reddit. Why they do some weird shit. Why you wouldn't put this up on your own site instead, but whatever. It says a brief statement about the lawsuit. We have taken note of the relevant information. As of now, we have not received any formal documents from the court, but we are closely monitoring the situation. We will actively respond to this case in accordance with the appropriate legal procedures to protect our legitimate rights and interests. Bamboo Lab has always advocated for and upheld the principles of respecting and protecting intellectual property. There could be some stuff said about that, but anyway. Through continuous research and technological innovation, we strive to provide our users with the best possible 3D printing experience. We also advocate for our industry peers to drive the development of the sector through genuine technological innovation. So that's what Bamboo says about the whole thing so far. So this thing's been filed like a couple days ago, and they haven't even gotten word of it yet. They've only heard because other people are talking to them saying, hey, supposedly you're getting sued.
Yeah, I think the companies like Anycubic and Creality and those guys, I think they all should be jumping on board with Bamboo to help them out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean that should be it needs to get shut down immediately. It kind of reminds me of something that was happening, and I wonder if this is why it's happening. A couple of years ago, I got letters from somebody because of some photos that were on my website for my solar company. There was a couple of stock photos that were up there. One was like of a cow, because I was saying, hey, we do stuff for agricultural or whatever, and they wanted to sue me for like $100,000 or something, like for using a picture of a cow on my website. I was telling them to go pound sand, but I wonder if that's kind of like, that they've, this company or this lawyers have gone up to the Stratasys people and said, hey, hey, we'll make you some money. We'll get you some money on patent infringement stuff. And, Bamboo's the big fish to go after right now. So, I wonder if it's that, or if Stratasys is just being a bunch of dicks. Yeah.
This is the way they're, instead of, hey, let's make a better product. Let's go after the person making a better product.
Yeah.
Or company. Sorry. That's what it feels like. But, as he says in the video as well, we don't need to freak out yet, because these kind of lawsuits are going to take years, and there's going to be appeals and back and forth. This is going to be we're in for a long ride with this. So,
yeah. Well, and that's the unfortunate part, because I'm married to an attorney. I know how much attorneys cost. They are expensive. And the one thing that on that Reddit post that from Bamboo, somebody had responded to it saying, this kind of has been Strace's MO the last couple of years, is that they've been going after some people that were challenging them with, and then making them either go bankrupt or buying them out. And some, could be a whole host of things of why this is happening. So,
merger and acquisitions.
Yeah.
But sue and acquisition.
Yeah.
Look, we're going to make you go broke, or you can just let us buy you.
Yeah.
For pennies on the dollar. So,
and then we're going to turn your product into crap.
Yeah. And then we'll just shutter it and be done.
Yeah.
That reminds me when I worked for McDonnell Douglas Aircraft. Boeing bought them out. Look what happened.
Yep.
The doors are blown off.
Oh, yeah. Well, and like XM and Sirius, that happened. Mm-hmm. Sirius was going down, and then they made a last-minute bid to buy XM. And it was like, geez, why did that happen? Whatever. So, interesting. So, we'll keep an eye on that and see what happens down the road. We'll move on to one of our buddies, Mr. Hamilton Dilbeck. Hamilton did a video this week on dust extraction. Some of the pretty wild dust boots and stuff like that have come out over the past year, mainly for the Onefinity crowd, but they work on a lot of machines from what I understand. And man, the 3D printing, you couldn't do this 10 years ago. And so it's pretty wild, like what people are being able to just create and iterate and make businesses from.
I really like that dual tube, the orange and black one with tubes.
I bet you it looks really cool sucking up dust.
Yeah.
But even Hamilton was saying, I guess it didn't quite perform as well as some of the other ones, but it was because it was sucking the bristles into it, and some of the other ones had the bristles where they would flare out, and that would help prevent them from sucking up into the dust boot. But with 3D printing, you can go in there and you can make those adjustments, and keep on going. So pretty neat.
And the cool thing about that one is you could change he had different heights of brushes. Yeah,
and they pop off and do all that. Look at all the magnets in there. That's one of the questions I had about that particular design, was the amount of magnets that are in there. Like, wouldn't it have been better to that just seems labor intensive for the size like I think, I don't know, personally, I don't think it needed that many magnets if you just did larger ones. You could probably do 3 on each side and that would have been enough. But I don't know.
Unless it's just so it lines up in the right spot every time. I don't know either, but
yeah, I don't either. But I mean, that's kind of what I was
strong.
Or put a bigger one in those larger areas.
Yeah, I don't know, but you know, that's.
I didn't design.
I was thinking about 3D printing is you can go back and maneuver it around if you find out you need different stuff.
Hey, we bought a bunch of 3mm magnets. What can we do with them?
Yeah,
got a pallet of them.
I got a really good deal on these. Put some more into it. Slam them in there. It'll be all right. So, I mean, what I figured out with this guy was it this one or the other one? One of the iterations I did with this, I had two magnets thick in each of the holes, and which provided more, grabbing power. But when I finished the design on them, I went to a thicker one, just a thicker magnet, and it worked great. And then I didn't have to worry about doing a double one. So, there's all different ways that you can do it. So, but I think
I did one years ago before all this was around, and I cut 3/4 inch acrylic, cut the groove. On the back side, I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 magnets. That's it, and it's a basic square. I mean, nothing fancy like we have today, and it's still on there, and it still works great.
Well, that was a question I had at the end of the video. I was like, man, I wonder how like the Dave Gatton dust boot, the classic, just a piece of plywood sticking off there with some bristles. I wonder how well that would do compared to these other ones that are $100 to $150 for the dust boot.
Wow. You know what? Probably just as good.
Yeah.
Not as fancy, but hey, who needs fancy?
Well, you can stain yours to match.
That's true.
But man, good times. Hey, they're all. It's cool though that you can have such a wide variety of products, essentially doing the same thing in the same space, and everybody seems to be doing pretty well with it. So, good on them. Good on them. We got. We might have lost Sean. Nope, Sean's still there. Laser Nug. I don't know what the Nug means. Maybe it's new guy. I don't know. But we've shown a video of his or two of his before. But this week's video was on doing shadow boxes, the layered pictures, and just walking through how to design one up and cut it out. Turned out pretty good. I like doing these types of pictures and designs and stuff. I did one. There's a video I did a while back on. It was a starfish, and it had like a beach scene behind it with a blah blah blah, and it was pretty fun way to do it. So.
Oh, is that the one that's next to your surfboard down at the beach house?
No, it's up on my wife's desk actually.
Oh,
yeah.
I did one too with we went to Hawaii and had a lot of great pictures and was able to take it out and just layer it up, cut it out, and use blue acrylic for the back for like the sky.
Oh, sweet.
That's cool.
That I was a couple weeks ago we were talking about a Van Tiki, and because he had done a CNC lamp. Well, after I saw that video, I kind of went into a rabbit hole on some of his other videos because he's a porcelain sculptor, I guess is the way to do it. Like he makes mugs and stuff like that, and really cool ceramic stuff. But he also did a series of laser projects I guess that he sells on his website, but they were based around drinks, like cocktails. And so one was a hurricane. So it looked like a hurricane glass, and then there was like a layered acrylic scene behind in the glass, in the shape of the glass, and pretty cool. And he did 4 or 5 different glasses, and they turned out pretty sweet. But it was the same style of project like what Laser Nug was doing, but with acrylic. So, so if you get bored and you want to go see some pretty interesting videos on that stuff, go check his out too. All right, let's see here. We'll move on then. We got Lifecraft. Lifecraft did a nice video. He used his what's that thing called? The Shaper Origin, and did a sugar skull and filled it with epoxy and all that good stuff. Turned out pretty cool. I dug it.
He used the I forgot that little handheld router.
Yeah, the Shaper Origin.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. I found it.
There he is. I see. Now the question I had was on his, like, so what I've been seeing a lot of people do with the Shaper Origin stuff is that they will put like a plate out in front of whatever it is that they're carving. I guess if it's small enough, and they just leave the stickers on that, and they don't actually have the stickers on their project because of where the camera is facing. I guess it's facing out front. I don't know. I've never played with one. But I think I don't think you need to cover the entire thing with the domino tape. But
It's still pretty cool for somebody that can't afford a CNC router if they're limited on space.
yeah, with it being real limited, yeah, I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty neat. I pretty cool.
If
anyway,
somebody sent me one, I wouldn't say no.
Yeah, yeah, I'd give it a whirl. But yeah, the sugar skull turned out really nice. I thought it was a good job. So worked out well. All right, moving on. Then we got Maker Tech. This isn't really about the video that they put out on it, but it's more about the Kickstarter that they that they have going on right now for the ProForge 250. We were talking about that in the last couple of weeks. This is the printer that they put out with the 3-head tool changer. So I took this picture of their Kickstarter last night, and it looks like they're making it for these 59 backers or whatever. So they've raised $72,500 and something dollars, and their goal was 38,275. I don't understand how that is a round number, but maybe that's because they're in Europe.
Interesting though, if you check it right now,
yeah,
it's 57. It's down to 69.
Oh wow, some people dropped out.
Yeah,
interesting, huh? Well, these guys have had several Kickstarters over the past couple of years, and I think they've all funded, and so they must be doing okay. But I really like this one. I think for a tool changer and stuff like that, for multicolor prints, it's a bargain compared to the Prusa XL.
No, I saw the European pricing. What's the US? Do you know?
is it
I think it was like maybe $1,000.
850 to 950?
Yeah.
And multiple tool heads. See, that's not bad.
Yeah, no, not at all. Especially when you think about the Prusa XL, which is the only other one I think really that's commercially available right now, and that for 3 heads is going to be, I don't know, $3,500 or so, something like that. I don't know. The only benefit to the Prusa then is that, one, it's a bigger build area, and you can do up to 2 more print heads, but still,
Yeah, can't beat it.
yeah.
It's a sharp.
I think the smaller area opens it up to more people. So
See, and you don't have to worry about purge towers or any of that.
yeah, you do have heated bed plates though, so they're coming for you.
All right, I take that back. It's not 850. It's 1,020 to 1,150 plus $100 plus shipping, and that does not include taxes. So you're probably looking closer to 13 or 15 once you consider all the duties and everything, because it is shipping from over
The
there.
equivalent of a bamboo.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, for an X1 carbon, you're roughly paying about the same amount, but for the color change abilities,
And less waste.
But yeah, you do have less waste, and so it would be faster because it doesn't have to sit there and purge. And prime and all that other stuff. It just goes.
And worry about patents because you used a purge tower.
And a heated bed.
Oh, they use a heated bed.
Yep.
Oh.
They didn't escape at all.
See you later.
Yeah.
But yeah, how many? What they got? Well, 4 days left now. 3 days after today. So it, hopefully they do good. Speaking of Kickstarters that we had followed, Maslow. So all their kits are sold out right now, which is probably a real major relief. So I look back at some of their other videos. They fulfilled all of their Kickstarter stuff a couple months ago, like in maybe June is when they actually fulfilled all the Kickstarter stuff, and they had gotten enough parts and everything else for a whole bunch more, and that they had listed on their website, and they've sold them all. So I guess they're going to figure out what they want to do, if they're going to continue selling these or get like another container in of parts, or what they're going to do, and go from there. I mean, but I guess if you sold them all, maybe it'd be worth it to get some more.
Yeah. I wonder, can you do another Kickstarter on the same thing?
I mean, essentially you could. Sure, why not?
Yeah,
because they've done improvements and all that to it since they created the Maslow 4. So the new one would just have all of those improvements on it.
That'd be cool.
Just call it a V2.
Yeah. Maslow 4.1.
Yeah.
So you could do it. So I would expect if they would, I mean, why not? That would be a good way to do it. Then if there's enough need for it or want for it. So good for them. That it's good to hear that they did well. So and we're able to get through, and they've had some issues, I guess, with some different things, and their group of people on users and stuff like that, providing feedback and stuff, and they are making it happen. So good for them. All right, moving on. Then we got ModBot. This one just came out today. Probably nobody else watched it, but I thought it was funny because of the SV08, the Solval SV08 is a printer that came out a couple months ago, and it was billed as a production version of a Voron printer, where they were actually giving $2 per printer that they sold to the Voron project.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is good. So that's pretty awesome. But they came out with some upgrades. So so some of the things they did were just all half baked. they added a screen. Like they gave you an upgrade of doing a screen for a nice screen for the front, which is like what's in the thumbnail. But everything that was on the printer is injection molded, except for this printer screen that they do, which is 3D printed, which they say nothing about in the description or anything like that. Like usually these companies are going to tell you if something's 3D printed or not. Because otherwise, you got a 3D printer. Just give me the STL for it and give me the parts. I'll put it together. As a 3D printer person, that's what you'd want.
Yeah.
But yeah. So and then he was talking about how it wasn't. You think it's supposed to go where the screen does on the front of the thing, but Solval came out and said, no, that's not what you're supposed to do. It's supposed to be a standalone thing. Like, why wouldn't you want it attached to the machine or have the ability to attach to the machine? So it's kind of wonky. And then the sides went on okay. And then the top, like if you put the glass top on, you lose some of your Z height because the cables and everything coming out the top are going to go up against that glass and won't be able to go up high enough. Yeah, like he's showing there. And so you really can't go as high as what you want unless you add risers. But there's no mention of any of that on their website. It's all just, if you want the enclosure kit, whatever. There's no instructions. Here you go. Yeah, and like they gave you a cable chain or something, but the cable chain is PLA. So if you're going to be printing in one of the higher temperature things that you want an enclosed printer for, the PLA is going to deform. It's getting too hot and stuff like that. So it was kind of like, oh man, what are you guys doing? Like you had a chance to do something cool for this continued project of a printer, and it's like they just took a dump on the side of the road or something. I mean, it's all just wonky. I did have a cool idea though, like as I was watching this video, because it is all open source and they give you all the STLs for all the parts. So I'm surprised I have not seen somebody 3D print an SV08 yet. And like, point. Yeah, just like make the whole frame out of 3D print the whole frame and stuff like that would work.
Now I have the SV03. Maybe I could take parts from that one.
There you go.
And if you do watch the video, Modbot has pinned a post to the top. Solval reached back out and talked about some of the issues on it. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot. Otherwise, but the first one is for the HDMI screen.
That's $100.
Well, but you know what? They have 3 ways you can install it. That's I was just kind of briefly scanning over it, and they bring up the drag chain as well. Yeah, I bring up the $100 because in the video he says that thing's $100, but if you go to Big Tree Tech, you can get a clipper screen for it for $50. A touch screen. So, and then the case is 3D printed. You could just print out your own case and save $50. But we're using gold-plated cables.
Yeah. Sure. Whatever.
I will be honest. I do like how when it soft levels, the whole bed could be kicked up, and it does each corner, and you can watch the whole plate just pivot until it's level.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So yeah, it's kind of. I enjoyed the. It's like, man, what are you guys doing? You were doing something really cool, and then you just kind of. Why isn't this other stuff injection molded if the rest of it isn't? Whatever. All right, moving on. We got McCulty Makes. So these Deadpool and Wolverine masks are everywhere right now. Everybody in there. I think today I saw like 3 different videos of like big maker people that were making these things. But the reason that I bring this one up is the video style. I love the video style that this guy did. It's only 3 minutes or something, 5 minutes and 4 seconds long. So even if you don't care about Deadpool or Wolverine movie, whatever it is, watch the video because the way that he films it is really entertaining, and that's what I liked about this thing. I didn't think anybody really cared too much about making a mask, but the way that he edited the video was pretty cool.
Now, the only thing my daughter brought up was he shows it's great on how he does it, and he says he's going to show you exactly how he does it, but she said that he doesn't show anything pertaining to the software to the start.
Yeah.
Where he starts printing. But other than that, he shows just the print. But the video itself is awesome.
Yeah. I just enjoyed watching the video on it.
Because it's just him saying like what 5 words and then
there's really nothing that is said throughout the whole thing pretty much.
It's got good music.
Yeah. But the way that he was doing the filmography in it, I thought that was really cool. So anyway, give it some watches. Yeah, it was a good one. Good one to watch, even if you don't care about that stuff. So sweet.
Well,
all right, moving on.
I'll be honest. I thought it was due to the magnets is why you actually went to the video.
Yeah, it was. It was magnets. He used appropriate size magnets. We got a couple more going here tonight. CNC Labs was showing some stuff. They've been working on their spindle router thing.
Sprouter.
And it was a guy talking about like how he's testing it. I thought it was pretty cool. These guys aren't just throwing some shit at the wall and seeing if it sticks. I mean, they're doing some work to get this stuff figured out, and pretty entertaining. There's a lot of work these guys are doing. I think they're probably doing a lot more work, I think, than a lot of these other companies are. And if I was in the market for a CNC, I'd be looking at that alt mill. Unfortunately, I'm not using my Gatton enough right now to warrant getting another one.
But here's going to be the issue. By the time I have enough money to get an alt mill,
they'll have a alt mill.
Oh no, I was going to say Bamboo's going to have their new one out.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to be in the same position I was in with this one.
Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty cool though. I mean, the way he's testing it. I mean, he's testing RPM stuff. I guess they're so. Paul, I'm trying to understand like really what they're going after with this thing, but they're getting some clones made of the Makita router is from my understanding, and they're trying to just make it better than the Makita.
So
I don't understand what the difference between a variable speed router and a spindle is.
So I'm not. I only got bits and parts of this one, but from a couple of things I know probably why they're going this route. One, the Makita routers with static discharge, there can be some issues. Like some people had it
interference.
Yeah, and so they had to ground them and just some of those issues. So I'm not sure if that was because of the router, but that may be one of the issues. Just reliability with the alt mill. That you're basically going to bottleneck if you use a router.
Yeah,
you're not going to be able to go fast enough, or you're going to have to slow it down for the router to keep up. Wade brushless as well, but the router you just don't have that fine control. One of the other problems with Makita is the knob, your number knob.
Hmm.
It can start to shake loose over time. So you'll set it on 3,
Right.
get halfway through a carve, and then you come back and you're like, why is it on 1.5? And then so, and I think it's just also them having more control in, to build a complete system. Because if you look at the super long board, their original goal was to put the like a Raspberry Pi on there, so you didn't have to get a laptop or have an external computer to run it. So is it the Maslow that everything's built in on the board, right?
Yeah.
So I think they're trying to go that route, but still kind of keep it open source. So by getting a spindle and being able to control it, you're going to have all the features of those higher end stuff, but they're going to be able to control quality instead of having to rely on Makita,
Some other company to do it. Yeah.
Doesn't
Right,
a
and-
spindle have better low end torque too
Yes.
than a router?
Yeah, you just have more control over a spindle.
Which makes it nice. I love my spindles.
I do too.
Yeah, didn't you just upgrade?
No, I upgraded when I first got it.
Okay.
Good deal. Well, the testing they're doing is awesome. Some good guys. So a long time ago, we had them on Dave's show, and real smart dude. So God bless them.
Yeah, Andy and Chris, they started in college. So you got, and I forget, what was it? They're at some 3D or some CNC, maker fair, and that's how they got started.
Cool. Nice. Keep at it. Good deal. All right, let's see here. We'll move on then to 6-8 Woodworks. He's showing this is why we were laughing about the X tool earlier.
That's a neat setup he's got.
Yeah. He's an X tool dude. I think they send him every one that they put out, so he's probably got like 30 lasers back there from the last year. But this, what is it, M1? Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
And this was totally new to me. I love it.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It's got like a printer head in it too.
Yep.
My question is where do you get the ink? Like, can you go to Staples and buy another ink cartridge for it? That would be the kicker for me on this thing.
Or do you have to buy it from X Tool or?
Yeah, like I'd want to be able to use this thing for a good while without it having to go out. But yeah, so you can actually print the stuff right on the wood, and then he's cutting them out as with like puzzle pieces, without ever having to take it off the bed of the printer or of the laser cutter.
Yeah, that thing is.
That was pretty cool,
and it's pretty vibrant.
Yeah,
I wonder how clean the print is, because like from that puzzle right there, it looks fuzzy to me. Like, I don't know if it's the camera angle or the picture, pixelated or whatever. So I wonder how good of a printer it is.
He does stickers too, and the stickers turn out really nice.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah.
So they, pretty cool though. Man, the product possibilities.
I wonder if that would be a little sharper if like after it printed the picture, if you could shoot it with like lacquer
Clear
and
coat.
then cut it out, if it would be more vibrant.
Yeah. Quite possible. But yeah, look, pretty neat. I mean, you could do like family portrait puzzles and stuff like that.
Yeah, but how much did Epson give them?
What do you mean?
Epson printer, so they could sell more ink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody's making money off the ink. You can bet on that.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I think it's more HP because my Epson has the tank that I can refill.
Oh, HP. That's right.
Yeah. HP is. Yeah, they were they're bad about that.
And it looks like it just uses the color cartridge. That's all that's in there is a color cartridge.
Yeah.
It still is pretty cool.
Yeah. Pretty neat. It's
I want
be
one.
interesting to see more. Yeah, right.
That's what I was thinking.
Hey, X Tool. Let's get product testing here.
If anything.
Yeah.
I wish they had come out with that before I bought the one I've got.
Who were we watching last week? That they're like there's secret laser and it was blacked out.
Oh,
I wonder if this is it.
It might be.
Because I think he had color.
Oh, that was yeah. It was Functional Print Friday. Well, it was who that was. So yeah, definitely could be.
Yeah, because I haven't even seen this one until this video.
Yeah, that was the first time I had ever seen it too. And I was like, wow, that's pretty wild.
Then you wonder what's next.
A 3D printer laser cutter.
Yeah.
There you go.
Bleh. Got it out.
You can 3D print your hinges right on the box.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, was it XYZ Printing came out with a 3D printer that would literally also print with ink as it's printing 3D prints. So you'd get a true color print. It was weird.
Wow. Pretty neat. All right. Well, moving on then, we'll go to Wouldn't You Know It? So he built an infinity domino. So there was a guy recently who did an infinity domino type of thing, but he used Legos. So Wouldn't You Know It, did his with his CNC and all in wood. So pretty cool setup for it, I guess. I just don't know what you would use this for. I mean,
it's a giant fidget toy.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, it's a conversation piece.
But pretty cool though. I mean, the way the physics and how he made it all work and stuff. Yeah, it's very true. Very true, Paul. He cut out some gears and had a good old time with it. And
the cool thing though is we
used the infinity symbol for his hinge. So, pretty sweet setup.
He must be another guy that gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, they get way too much shit done.
See, and he makes me feel bad because I'm like, I put some text and logos on a flat surface, and he's like, "Oh yeah, hold my beer."
Infinity dominoes. Oh, cool deal.
That is fun.
And then we got Wild Willow. She's returned with now she's gotten a Thunder, big old Thunder.
I love this. Yeah.
I at first when I saw the thumbnail for it, it didn't even occur to me that it was her because it doesn't look like her in her videos. But that's her. And she's doing a series now on LED signs, and so she was showing how she did it with an easy one, and then she's gonna ratchet up the difficulty on the next couple of them, but works out pretty good.
Here again, she's using a 4-inch nozzle. I haven't seen a 4-inch nozzle until today.
Dave has one.
A 4-inch?
Yeah.
Well, laser head.
Yeah. Yes, we're talking Laserhead. I couldn't answer the question about the other part. I like Dave, but I don't know him that well.
Okay, I'm not used to seeing a 4-inch laser though. I guess it's just new.
Yeah, I know. American Photonics sells a set that is like they have like a 2 a 2.5, a 3, and a 4-inch or something like that.
Yeah, I thought it went up
or
like
inch and a half,
3,
something
3
like,
and a half.
whatever it is. They sell 4 of them, and one of them's a 2 and one of them's a 4.
Still is cool.
So the 4-inch is supposed to give you a finer cut,
Yeah.
for especially for the deeper, thicker wood. But the smaller the laser head is, or laser tube, it's supposed to be a finer detail. So
Isn't that like 1/2-inch ply or 3/4-inch ply she's actually cutting?
yeah, it's pretty thick.
Yeah.
12 millimeter.
12
Yeah.
mil.
Yes, a 1/2 inch. Yeah, she was chopping through it with that big old Thunder. Look how big that's a monstrous machine.
I'm jealous.
Guy I know, Ryan Fenners, from Fentertainment YouTube. He does golf cart stuff. I visited him a couple of months ago, like a month or two ago, and got to see his big giant Tech laser. And man, you don't realize how big those things are when you get to the big wattage ones. It's like, holy crap, this thing's a monster. But no wonder it's in your garage, because you're not getting that into a house or anything. There's no way. But it's pretty cool. But anyway, yeah. So she'll be doing a couple more videos on different stuff, making more complicated LED signs and stuff like that. So
Oh,
deal.
and if you're looking for LEDs, okay, Govee is pretty cool. It has their own ecosystem and everything, and they've normally been pretty expensive, but lately I have been seeing them on sale. So if you're looking for them, keep an eye out for them being on sale. I've seen them like every 2 weeks. I've just seen them really cheap. I've seen them sometimes for like $49.99, kind of, that's their normal. But I've been seeing them go for $17, $20. So
Are these like the addressable LEDs?
So let me see if I can find the ones I bought.
Just don't get their ones that they say are Christmas lights. Those are garbage.
I'm going to stop looking. No, I was going to get the Christmas light ones, but they were so spread out. But these were the LED strips. So they're buried somewhere in a box.
Thanks, Ryan.
I get calls about doing the Christmas light ones every year, and they just have like they're the way they attach and all that is garbage. I don't know. The lights might be fine, but they just have like double-sided tape on it that you stick up there, and there's no hiding wires or anything. It just looks like garbage. So don't put those on your house. Use them in a project.
And I'll even say this: any of those LED strips, the adhesive on the back is garbage, no matter which brand you get. Yeah. I go ahead and just use VHB and
get them up there.
Glue it right
yeah,
to it.
Yeah, and just don't worry about it after that.
Yep. So
That's
fun stuff.
Thing.
All right, and then the last one we got for this week is, oh, look at this! It's Mr. D. Hammer doing filament dryers. So appreciate the shout out at the end of the video, sir. That was very nice of you.
Oh, welcome.
So you've been using this thing, evidently. How do you like it so far?
I do like it better than the comm grip I have.
Yeah.
But just like Sean said, the lid is a bit of a contentious point. It is a little hard to get on and off, and I'm not using it, running any filament from it to my printer. So my big like about it is the buttons.
Yeah.
I like when I can press a button, know I pressed it.
Yeah,
it's positive.
Tactile.
Yeah, it's like, button pushed, I've been looking to get a car, and oh my gosh, all these new cars with the touch screens.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
just give me a button.
Give me a button. Let me know I actually did something.
Yeah.
So it's a good machine. I like it also. It can get hotter than some of the other ones, and it can 2 1 kilogram spools or 1 3 kilogram spool, and then also very fine granular control.
Yes.
So like my other one, it's like 5, increments of 5 or increments of 2 hours. Where this one, you can 7 hours, 31 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on what time I go to bed, I can set it so it's done.
Ready to go at 3 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good time.
as a dryer, I think it's a perfect dryer. It's a great dryer.
Good try. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But to use it as also a dryer and like a spool holder as you're feeding it to the printer, it is a little cumbersome feeding it. But as an individual like yourself with the bamboo, you don't need it for that purpose.
No.
How much do they cost?
They're, I believe, $80.
Yes,
But like I say in my video, they have so many stupid save 10% here, save 12% here, use this affiliate code. I'm like, I've seen anything everywhere from 10 to 17% off. I'm like, just pick one and stick and just make it whatever you want it to be. If you want it to be $69.99, make it $69.99. Stop making. Sorry.
And you're seeing that now with like everybody's putting the cookies thing on their websites too. You don't need to track shit. No. I just want to come look at what you got going on here. You don't need to know what else I'm doing.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Oh, and the other thing is it does not. So all the holes for the guiding holes, and then there's also the top vent so the humidity goes out. Well, that's great. You dry it and it lets all the humidity out. But what happens if it's just been sitting there for 4 or 5 days after you dry it? So now I got to go and
dry it again.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna. I think. Yep. Yeah, I have to go and print some of those to plug all the holes.
I'll send you the STL.
I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but right now I have a 3D printed dragon sitting on top of the holes.
Yeah. Yeah, when I'm done with the drying, I'll plug them up real quick, and it works great.
Awesome. Very awesome. Well, we've been going at it for an hour and a half, and I know Mr. Corliss needs to get his beauty sleep.
Right.
So you got anything else for us tonight, Paul?
I didn't even get my nap today.
Oh, man.
No, I'm good. A lot of good stuff this way. I really like that one laser that's with the printer.
That M1 is pretty wild. Pretty sweet.
I got a birthday coming up. In case anybody's interested, you could get me one, and
I'll send you a card.
You gonna put some green stuff in it, or
well, if I can, I might be able to get a affiliate link, and I'll give you 10% off.
It's a start.
There you go. Hey, look at that. Look, I'm giving you money. It's just not physical.
It's pretend money.
There you go. Mr. Sean, you got anything else for us this week?
I hope everyone has a wonderful week.
There you go. Mr. Paul, anything from you?
Hey, everyone have a great week. If you want to check out some shorts, I also have some video shorts, not shorts.
Not boxers.
That sounds funny.
Yes, I'm wearing shorts. But
the other shorts.
You got some ones there. Go check those out if you have some time you want to kill.
Good deal. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us this week, and we'll do it again Lord willing, the creek don't rise. We'll do it again next week, and have a good weekend for everybody. Until then, peace out, sauerkraut. 110 days until the Christmas challenge, so get on it, people. All right, peace out.
Bye.
Bye.